How much of this film archive was preserved? Because I remember when I was in Probe, this was like 30-some years ago, when Ice was still Liza Diño-Seguerra and she was 4 years old. I remember that they were trying to restore many of the films in the National Media Production Center.
Wow.
No? Yeah. But many of them were beyond restoration. So I just wonder now, how much of that was actually digitized or preserved?
Well,
and are there still efforts to do that?
yes. Well, in terms of efforts, we have the Philippine Film Archive under FDCP, and our mandate is to preserve these films that we have in our collection. We have currently around 25,000 elements, ranging from videotapes from the 1950s, films that we were able to save,
Wow.
and even the recordings of different government proceedings, meron kami.
Yeah.
But in terms of very important films, we're currently looking for the other films na probably nasa international archives and hoping to repatriate it. Pero ang hirap hingin yung mga pelikula kung alam mong even yung state natin ngayon, wala talaga tayong infrastructure na masasabi to really take care of these films.
You mentioned 1950. I don't know if that was just an arbitrary year that popped into your head, but do I surmise that prior to 1950, there's a lot less of what we could still capture and that we got?
Siguro out of the films that we have, siguro 65% of it are already lost and gone. We have 35% left that we are trying to preserve, discover, look for in partnership with other institutions. But the oldest film that we have is a 1937 film entitled Zamboanga, starring Fernando Poz Sr. So
wow,
it's actually in English.
Really?
But in 1937, there were underwater scenes already. It was a...
Wow,
yes.
no kidding. Wow, may underwater camera na nun, Kaya mo yun? And that was in film.
Yes.
That was in film, no?
Yes, yes.
Wow, ang galing,
So meron pang mga ganun klaseng films na nasa...
But are there still,
collections
you also mentioned that you're trying to look at international archives. Where are these, especially the older films, are they still popping up from collections and archives all over the world?
You know, we have amazing archivists that are in touch with various archival institutions. Recently, we were able to acquire a 106-year-old film. It was through Nick De Ocampo's connections. It's not done by a local producer, but it was shot in the Philippines, the native life in the Philippines.
Really?
Very, very controversial documentary. But right now, I visit archives all the time whenever I go on my trips. Jaguar is in Swiss archives. We have films like Tatlong Taong Walang Diyos, Sister Stella L., Manila by Night at the Fukuoka Film Archive. So they are in good...
Wala sila rito? Kasi wala namang copy left here.
Meron naman, kaya lang kasi yung ating preservation techniques before, yung ating storage facilities, hindi kasing galing or hindi kasing up to standards ng nasa international. So they are in pristine condition in other countries. So the hope right now and the goal of FDCP is to have a storage facility here, which we are finally given.